I'm sorry, what?
Well, first and foremost, I need a fashion show from you. I would like you to
Yes.
show the audience what shirt you are wearing.
So I don't know if you like. This is the
Ooh,
So
like a dress shirt
cool.
I tucked it in my pants, and it has like little tiny crucifixes on there.
I love it.
It's a little pattern, and the way he explained it to me, when he gifted it to me, it was like, yeah. So I wanted it to look like you can't see it at first, like from afar, and it looks like just every other pattern shirt. But then when you look closer,
Yeah.
you see that it's the crucifixes.
Love
And
it.
fun fact, actually, I remember that day when we exchanged gifts. I was visiting him, and I was in the bathroom, and I kind of look on the floor, and I see a little tiny bit of fabric, and I pick it up,
Oh.
and I see that little crucifix on it, and
Where's that coming from?
I'm like, Evan Snow, Ghost fan. Why is this here? So either this is something for my other friend, who's also a Ghost fan, or something for me. I'm like, huh.
Oh my god, that
Put
was
it there on
hilarious.
purpose.
I don't think so. Like I came out of the bathroom and I'm like, I don't know if I should have seen that, but like here you go. And he's like, oh, you haven't seen that.
I love
Love
that.
Damn.
Well, we are recording on a very special day because today is the day Ghost decided to post their release dates and name of the movie. How are you feeling about that?
I am very excited. I honestly I was kind of thinking about, okay, when could it realistically come out? And I did think somewhere around summer or fall this year. Um, like I remember like us all, me, my partner and his other partner, we were just sitting on the bed chilling, and suddenly one of them goes, "Oh my God, Ghost posted!" And I was like, "What?" And then we all watch it. I'm like, "Oh, that's early." I didn't expect it to be that early,
Yeah.
but I'm like, "Yes."
Love it.
So yeah, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was a little surprised about it being like only 2 days.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna have to look for tickets. But yeah, I'm hoping I can make it time wise possible, but it looks realistic.
And also next week, it's Thursday, I think. So May 9th. It's going to be a shit show because
Yes.
the tickets will only be sold through one website and one website only. It's
Oh
going
my
to
god.
crash the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really scared about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really anxious if they're going to actually show it in a theater near me. I'm willing to
Mm,
travel maybe an hour. Anything beyond that, I'm not willing
yeah.
to no, there's no way.
Yeah.
But we'll see, I guess.
I mean, I live in Berlin, so I am a little faithful that
Yeah.
I will find something in my area. But yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Ghost, would you maybe like to tell the audience how you got into Ghost?
Um, I have to say that that is not that long ago, actually. Um, it was, in fact, last year. I remember like the year before, actually, when I think it was around the end of 2022, beginning 2023, there was this huge Mariana Cross thing on over TikTok, and a friend actually showed that to me, and I was like, nice song. I like it, and I did listen to it a few times, but that wasn't yet what actually got me into it. Like it didn't. That was not the song that really caught me.
Yeah.
And then later, a few months later, 1 or 2 months later, around I think it was spring somewhere, somewhere in spring, I was stumbling over a video. It was a cosplay video with Cerise, and I was like, that sounds interesting. So I then went on Spotify and did my usual thing when I find a new band, methodically like stretch, like go through all the albums. And then I researched and found out, oh, they're right now on tour. And it was a little late with that because I saw that they were on tour in May, I think. I saw that and I was like, okay, how realistic is it that I'm still gonna get tickets?
Yeah.
And then for the concert in Berlin, I saw, damn it, on that same day, I'm in Leipzig to see another band.
Oh no.
So I couldn't go there, but then I saw, okay, the week after or 2 weeks after, they were in Hamburg. And I think I got the tickets 1 week before the concert.
Oh wow.
For $49 on eBay.
Jillian could never. Like, she could not relate.
That blows my mind. Reseller tickets a week before the concert would have been like $200.
The thing is,
Yeah.
on my first German concert, I've bought my ticket the 4 hours before the concert. I was at the venue already. I've had a seating ticket, but I wanted, standing ticket.
Mood.
Like, the first one I've been to was I've had barricade and shit. It was in
Yeah.
France though. I've had my ticket. I think I've bought it the day they released the tickets, and then I was at the one in Germany in Neu-Ulm, and I've had again seating ticket, and everybody around me had standing tickets, and I wanted one so bad, and then I go on Eventim, and it says no tickets available. I'm like, shit. And then maybe 4 hours before the concert starts, a friend of mine, she's tapping my shoulders. She's like, just between you and I, Eventim just reopened every single ticket category. And I'm like, I'm sorry? Excuse me? And then I go on Eventim and I check it, and everything is available again. And I bought my ticket for, I think it was $60 or something like that.
An online ticket?
Yeah, an online ticket, yeah. And then the other thing was, on the online ticket, it says, you can only use it when you print it out. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like 3 hours away from home. And then I start running around this city that I've never been to. I run into hotels, into casinos. There was a car dealer. I'm like, I'm sorry, I need a printer. Is there any way to print out my ticket? And they're like, well, we could, but we're not allowed to because of, data things. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I phone the venue. And I'm like, I have this problem. And the lady at the phone, she was so friendly. And she said, you know what? I will tell our security team. It will be okay. I was sweating so hard because of that. And then I stand there with my phone, like my phone, you could see my knuckles. They were so wide because I was holding my phone. I'm like, I'm so sorry. There was this security lady, and she's like, yes, what can I do for you? And I tell her, and she's like, you've come to the right place. I'm head of security. I will handle that shit for you, darling. And I'm like, oh my God, perfect. And
wonderful.
and she handled it for me. So that was nerve-wracking, but I mean, I got there in the end. Yeah, but 49 euros, that is crazy.
Yeah. And I do feel what you said about I wanted a standing ticket, because I got a seating ticket before too, actually. Around the same price, but then literally a few days later, they someone uploaded a standing room ticket, and I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm doing this again. and I had to ask for express shipping because otherwise it wouldn't have arrived in time.
Yeah, no. Crazy.
Oh God.
Crazy what Ghost is making us do.
Yeah. Then I remember because since I also really spontaneously had to book a hotel and stuff, since it's still 2 hours away, so I couldn't possibly by that time find an ICE back to Berlin. So the problem always then is, with the hotels, they don't let you check in before afternoon.
True, yeah.
And I think I had to work or travel back the day before, so I couldn't book in the night before. So it was noon when I got to Hamburg, could check in around 2 p.m., which was already early because most hotels do like 3 p.m. Did like a very, very, very quick makeup job. Looking back now as a cosplayer, I look at the way my face looked back then and I'm like, why did you walk around like that? Sure. What did you do? Yeah. But I did a really quick Terzo job in like half an hour. Now it takes me 2.5 hours to do an actual job. And then I rushed to the venue and I was there at 3 p.m. and like I saw the line. I was like,
Damn. So, yes. Sorry, I just had to reopen the prompt because my iPad just ran out of battery. So when you saying you joined last year, with there still being Papa 4 and of course Impera still being the most recent album, would you say that Impera and maybe also Copia is your favorite Papa and your favorite album?
Fun fact, actually no. Because I did before even getting into Ghost more. So I did listen to the albums and stuff. But before that, my TikTok for your page kind of like, that's how it does it with a lot of things. My TikTok for your page is kind of like pushing things onto me. Like, you're gonna like this, you're gonna like this, you're gonna like this. And then I'm like, okay, fine, I will get more into it if you say so. And most of the time it had worked. And since TikTok is kind of like showing all the different types of papas too, I kind of like from the very start, it was really weird, kind of had this pull towards Terzo from the very start for some reason. And then randomly, I was like, no, I'm not going to listen to the albums in like a chronological order or anything. I'm just going to start right in the middle. And it just so happened to be Meliora, the one I started with.
Yeah.
So this was like the first full album I listened to then. And kind of like it all fell together. And that's what also made me decide to then cosplay this dude.
The guy behind you.
I love it. Yeah, I love Terzo. I love the outfit that you have behind you.
Yeah.
He's very magnetic in every way, especially with Cerise when that came out. I mean, even seeing the live performances of it, even though Copia has the bat wings, I still love Terzo's performance the best, I think.
I do really also want to make the ropes this year, like the Papa ropes. But this is going to be a longer project.
Oh yes, good luck.
Because this one was pretty easy actually. I searched for a pattern that was having like a similar kind of look, altered it, and then kind of like sewed it from there.
So you made it yourself?
Yes, this is hand sewn.
Oh hell yeah, dude! That's awesome. That's so cool.
That's crazy.
Yes, I love it.
I wish I could do stuff like that.
Same. I would be insufferable if I could do things like that.
Yeah.
A little closer.
Oh, hello. Oh, look at the detail.
Yes. So this is basically it's a little shiny, if you can see that in the camera.
Ooh.
I don't know if the camera is good enough or if I have to, because I can't pull them like closer. Yeah. It's like some kind of
I have to say, I've seen others online, not to shit on people, but some just look cheapish, I want to say, but this one looks so good and so well made. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like some just look, costumey. This doesn't look costumey.
Yeah, it looks biblically accurate.
Exactly.
Although I have to say that I found out, since a friend of mine sent me from the actual museum later, once this was already done, a picture, that I did use, looking back, the wrong fabric for the vest. But it's fine. Yeah. Maybe I'll remake it at some point, maybe not, I'm not sure. But I did this like, because many outfits are also like with the buttons that you can like just press.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I wanna like do those buttons that you can open.
Oh.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll meet Tobias one day and he's gonna be like, you used the wrong white fabric on that, right?
This is how I should make it. Oh my god, no. I wouldn't be able to be that cocky, honestly. Yeah, and those are like, I think someone actually sent the link to me for those buttons. I'm not sure anymore where someone sent them to me. They're like from the looks of it, they're like the exact look of it, but they were gold, so I had to paint them silver. But they are the exact look of the buttons that like he has also on.
So
I don't know,
cool.
like it's really.
That's
I can't
amazing.
put him.
You can just
I'd have to undress him.
you can also just send us photos at any point, and I can also put
Yeah.
them in.
Da 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 da. Da. Yeah, that's how
So
they look.
cool.
That kind of reminds me of. Oh, I'm very bad at things like that. With the Impero vests.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It kind of looks like
The little
yeah.
tie thing.
Yeah, it kind of
Back
looks like
there?
that. Look at him standing there. Damn.
And he's chilled back there again after we undressed him.
I don't even know where we were. I mean, your favorite being Terzo. Did you also say that Impera was your favorite album? I can't even remember.
No, actually, Meliora is
Okay.
also because it was kind of like
Yeah, of course, Meliora. Yeah, sure. Sorry.
that. But maybe I also have a thing most of the time. Like yes, with him being my favorite papa, and like I do have most of my favorite songs on there too. But I do also have mostly when picking my favorites, kind of like a sentimental value to things that are like the one that get me into something, or like the first I listen to. So that probably adds to that too.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm like that with
Yeah.
the songs. Yeah, I mean, again, my favorite still forever being Opus, but Mary on a Cross will always have this chokehold on me because
Yeah.
that's what got me into Ghost. So it will always
Yeah.
be special. With today being the day of announcements, when do you think that they're actually going to announce the new album?
That's a good question. Because like the last actual album has been, if I'm correctly, in 2022, and then there's been Phantomime in between.
Yeah.
So I have been hearing that Tobias has been working on a new album already. But then also with them working on a movie that might, like, I don't think that it's like gonna be right after, because I can imagine that they've been quite busy with that too.
True.
So maybe honestly the earliest that I think would make sense would be like ending of this year, beginning of next year, maybe something like that. Because that's also like a realistic timeline in between albums, like 2 to 3 years is what I'm used to with artists. So that's my take on this.
Yeah. Each album has had like a specific aesthetic and
Yeah.
vibe to it. What are you hoping for the next album to be?
Hoping's difficult to say, because honestly my kind of like how I see things with Ghost for most of the time is like I just see what happens, and that's just kind of like the way I see it. What I could imagine that is going to be, because each of the albums, as you mentioned, like have had very different vibes so far. So I could honestly imagine that's like a drastic opposite to like Impera, for example.
Ooh.
Like
Yeah.
maybe since Impera has like kind of like all of this majestic, glorious vibe for me. Like that's how I describe it. Maybe it could actually be like something, I don't know, darker, especially since honestly in the last months everyone's been like talking about, oh my god, what's gonna happen to Copia, is he gonna die? So as we don't know if it's gonna be the same character singing or someone else, and to what time that is, well, I do not know what is going to happen. Obviously I'm pretty sure that something drastic is going to happen. So I think maybe this could be having like a vibe of like a coming storm, kind of like something uncertain danger, like this kind of like unsettling maybe. That's what I
That's
think could be
good.
realistic. But that's just an idea. Obviously, like, yeah, I'm very open to whatever happens, to be honest. But it's something that I could imagine.
I love that. Yeah. I would want that too. Something dark and menacing and
Yeah.
unsettling is such a good word.
Yeah, unsettling
Yeah.
is really good. Yeah, love that.
I think Sabrina froze.
I
Yeah.
froze.
I'm like, no.
Can you still hear me?
We'll just wait a second until she comes back.
Can you still hear me
Don't
though?
leave us alone.
Now we can hear you.
Oh my god, I could
Yeah.
hear. I could
There you
hear the
go.
whole time.
You were
Oh.
stuck on like such a like I don't know what kind of phase.
Oh my god.
Like for me it just said unstable connection, and I see
Oh
your
really?
profile.
Oh yeah, that
Yes.
sounds like that sounds like me. Very
Yes.
funny.
I don't see you at all. I just see your profile picture.
Really? You now see just my profile picture?
Now you're back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What's happening? I have no idea. So
Yes, you're back.
so my next question would actually be if you think that there's going to be a live album, but they're questioned, just
It's already
today.
been answered.
Yeah.
There is going to be a
And
live
then
album.
and then the question after that would be when do you think the movie is going to be released? But
Well,
Oh.
we
I have
could
no idea. I'm like
just-
completely clueless.
we could just pretend that none of us knew, and you could just give the perfect answer. That would be kind of
Like, I'm not sure. But like, I think maybe in June the 20th and the 22th
No,
would be
that's too
possible,
early. No, that's too early.
Never gonna happen.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. So speaking of movie, Tobias said in a Metal Hammer interview that the movie is going to be a concert movie. No, a movie with concert elements. What can you
Yes.
actually imagine the movie part to be?
Well, I'm pretty sure that also since this has been building up, the expectation of the fan base has been building up to that too. That I could imagine that it definitely has like Copia as the main character and like how his story continues. In my opinion, that can go into many different ways. Like, he could obviously die since he's been public for quite a while now. But then again, he could also like what I could imagine happening, him maybe starting to question how things are run.
Mm-hmm.
Because so far he's been just like kind of like, oh yeah, I'll play along with it. I'm just doing what I have to do.
Agreeing with everything.
Yeah, you say what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it. So that's what I could imagine. Yeah. And then there are obviously like all those different theories. I'm not like set on any specific theories to be honest. But if we take the Antichrist theory, for example, into consideration, that could also obviously be something happening, like him kind of like overthrowing the
Yeah.
clergy. The only thing that I personally think could be an issue with that is if Tobias would actually go through with that, then many people are also like speculating about a true form kind of thing. And the way I know him, he would probably want to do it even more grand and like,
Yeah.
the man's extra. Let's
Yeah,
face
he
it.
is.
And I think that could maybe become an issue with performing on stage with like even more majestic outfits or horns or something like that. That could for a long time maybe become an issue if it's like even more even a heavier mask or something like that. But that's like way deep into that direction. So yeah, like it could end up, in my opinion, very different. Like he could obviously like die, but then again, even if he's being replaced, that does not mean he has to die. Since while that happened to the other papas before him, that didn't happen to the other papas when they were replaced. So yeah, what I would actually really like to see, I'm honestly not getting my hopes too high for that, because I don't want to be disappointed. But I would actually like to see maybe some flashbacks or something like
Oh
that.
yes,
Yeah.
Maybe also
please.
to
Oh
like
my god, yes.
get like a deeper dive into maybe their past, also like maybe the relationship in between the brothers
Yeah.
to like explore that a little bit more. Because that way we would also get to know Kopi on a deeper level and also the other
Mhm.
characters, which would be very cool in my opinion.
Oh
Love that
yeah.
someone's
And
finally
there's
I
mentioning
would love
that.
to see.
yeah, plenty of content if Tobias, needs some exploration on the Papa's personalities. There's lots of fan fiction out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
There was this part in the LA Forum recordings where Papa got put on this pair of boxing gloves. How do you think that is going to tie in with the movie?
That's a good question, actually. I have to say, I have heard about the boxing outfit. Um, I gotta admit, I haven't specifically. I've seen drawings of it, but I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen any actual forbidden footage or anything like that. I didn't search out for it, but yeah. So I think ah, that's a good question because it was kind of like out. It was kind of like out of place to me. Like it just oh, he's in a
yeah.
boxing outfit. I'm like, huh?
I can give you my theory. For me, this
So
is this is in correlation with the chapter where
mhm.
they were at Mrs. Soltarian's beach house, where Mrs. Soltarian was training Copia in
Yes, I
boxing.
remember that. I remember
Maybe
that
it
one.
has something to do with that. I don't know. But that's the only thing I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I,
it's so random that they just put the boxing gloves on
yeah,
him and the what is it, a robe, I think that's the name. And he just
yeah.
did like 2 or 3 boxing moves and that was it. So like
Did he ever get a belt? You know how like
no, he did not get a belt.
wrestlers they have
No.
belts?
No, just
Hmm.
just just the gloves and this. Is it a robe? I think it's a robe,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to show off his new sportswear.
Yeah,
Who
he
knows?
just wanted to show it.
Like,
Yeah.
wait a moment, I bought something new.
Look at that.
Look, sister, I'm a boxer now.
Are you proud of me now, finally?
Are you proud
Like,
of me?
I was thinking about a new career path.
Yeah. I told you I was gonna knock out that old man one day.
Yeah, like since the movie part didn't work out so far, like
Yeah.
when he was applying for acting.
Yeah. Oh.
I love this.
Oh.
Well, speaking of Mr. Sultarian, who do you think he is?
What is his role?
Yeah, he was always honestly a character that I was like, hi, where do you come from? Like, where do you suddenly appear? Um,
Hello.
like somehow he does seem to I think definitely that he's someone in higher power, since he does have like this kind of authority
Yeah.
and since he just suddenly can just jump in
Hmm.
and like join them. Um, so I definitely do believe that, like, that he maybe is also like one of the heads
Mm.
of the clergy or something. Um, I'm not sure what his specific job
Yeah.
as in that
Yeah.
is, because in the chapters he just like at some point appeared
Yeah.
and like no one knew from where he came. Um, so I'm not sure. Maybe he's also supposed to be some kind of like mentor or something. I don't know. Since we also had like that boxing scene, I don't know. Maybe just sort of, hey, I'll give him someone to
Yeah.
mentor him along his way. I'm not sure. Uh, but I do definitely think that I'm sure that he will play at least some certain role in the future, because it would confuse me for like it wouldn't make sense for Tobias to just
Yeah,
randomly put
no.
him there and like
And he's
do
not in the
something.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Imagine.
that would
Figure
be
out.
like no. He's just been there, just been chilling.
Imagine him not being in the movie theater, and then at the end of the movies, everybody's sitting in the
Like,
theater, and being like, "Where was
like
Mrs. Soltarian?" And then there's
yeah,
this,
like where was he?
and then they do like is that Marvel or DC where it's like there's another secret scene after the
Post
Yes,
credits.
credit.
Marvel. That's Marvel.
Yeah, and then
Where you
maybe
always see it earlier
And maybe Miss Voltaire just will be sitting there like, yeah, so my part of the movie was just to confuse the fuck shit out of people. Maybe that's going to be it. Who knows? Oh,
Or
Miss
like imagine
Voltaire.
him actually being in a movie and then his scenes got cut.
He was so bad. He was just so bad.
No.
Oh my god. That would be hilarious. Um with asking you of people's role or whatever, I started to
Hmm.
ask people the question, who do you think is the mother of Primo, Secondo, and Terzo?
That's a good one because I honestly, since it never has been revealed, I honestly mostly have been thinking, oh, they've probably had like all different mothers because Nilla was kind of like, yeah,
Yeah, I was.
whipping around. Um, but then again, on the other hand, there's this whole prime mover concept thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that maybe like on the other hand there's that. So if it's been like more traditional and then he's like talking about all his family line stuff. And your profile picture is back.
Oh no,
Oh
really?
no.
Oh
It's gone
no.
again. There you go. Now we can hear you.
Whatever is happening, I don't even
I
know
can't see
anymore.
you again, but it's okay.
Maybe I will be back at some point.
At some
You're
point,
back.
I will see you again. There you are.
Oh,
Uh,
that's so weird.
but yeah, that's on the other hand. So I don't know if maybe it's on purpose that she's being like kept a mystery. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm that's the thing. I'm like even not really set on that it's one person or because in my mind, the way I've seen Nil, it could very well also be like him just throwing out sons.
So, I know that you mentioned that for the next album, you want it to be kind of darker and a little more off-putting, and you want something drastic to happen. So, do you think that there will be a new Papa?
um, I do think that in it can go in kind of like two directions, in my opinion. Like either it could be the regular kind of like process of Copia dying or being replaced, which doesn't mean like necessarily dying. Like it can just also be him being replaced as well, because that's how it has happened before he came into the fold. Um, but yeah, so that's obviously one option. Option number two is that still like something big happens in some way, but it's just kind of related to Copia, like something drastic about him changes, be it his views, be it his the way he's going about things. Yeah, like I did. I don't know if I mentioned this before. It's a bit difficult. Thinking now, did I mention this before? Because we already
Yes.
already so like, oh, did I mention this before? But yeah. So what I've been thinking that could be very possible that he maybe starts thinking about how things are being ran more and like maybe starts questioning things or starting to work against things, maybe trying to take over or taking down the clergy. It could be like both. And like there's of course also this very popular antichrist theory. I personally have to say when it comes to theories, for me, I'm not like behind one specific theory and I'm like, oh yes, I believe that. To be honest, I personally I'm not the ghost fan that's like too deep into the theories. I know some of them. I know some popular ones, like this, for example. Like it's one of the most popular ones, obviously.
Sure.
And I do see the realistic points of it. I do see the clues of it. So like I see the possibility. But then again, I'm like, I don't know. I'll just see what happens, and I'm gonna be fine with it. I don't know. Like I'm very open in that case. But yes, I do think there's definitely the possibility of a new Papa.
Let's just say that they will maybe um show the ending of Papa 4 and the beginning of Papa
Mm,
5 in the movie. How can you imagine that they would actually do that? And would they do it in the beginning or even at the end?
it's a good one. I personally think with the way David 24, I could also honestly, I could imagine them like just in between of the show randomly,
Oh.
like really like
Ooh.
I don't think that because beginning or end people are kind of like expecting things. I could
Sure.
honestly imagine them being like suddenly no one expects anything and then
Yeah, starting the mourning process early on. That is a very good idea, I think. So making him as mourn Papa 4 for the rest of the movie would be pretty good, I think.
like because I'm thinking that if if fans are like already expecting something because like beginning or end would be like more of a traditional way to do
Yeah,
it. And I think doing like somewhere in the middle, like when no one expects it, hits the hardest.
true. I agree.
I love that. Yeah.
True. I'm not sure if you've talked about the look, like a new
Mm.
look for the new Papa. Have we?
I
No?
don't think so yet.
So what would you wish for, and what can you imagine for the new Papa to look like?
When I read the question prompts a little bit beforehand, when I read this question, I was like, that's a good one because I personally have not actually thought about how specifically in depth I would want him to look like. What I kind of like was automatically in my brain going for was like still keeping the type of pain like the general way because that's been
Yeah.
like something going
Yeah.
through with all the papas. I would really like that being kept on, but like with a new style,
Mm.
like as it happened the times before. Um, and then I was like, well, I can't go for like a general thing right now, but what if I would just sit down for a few minutes and kind of like make up my own idea of one version that could be possible.
Mm.
So this is like just one option that I have in my head because there's a lot. But I kind of like created a little OC idea in that case. So I was like, maybe I think that some like because Papa Four was like very flashy and fun in most
Yeah.
ways with his outfits. So I was like, maybe like some kind of a little bit of a sophisticated look would be nice. Um, and someone who since Copia had this like more of a goofy personality, maybe someone who's like a little bit more sharp and direct, but then at the
Mm.
same time, not like as Secondo, not like as serious, but at the same time he maybe takes himself a little too serious, and the crowd can't take him as serious, and he will fight
Oh.
them
Oh,
about it. He will fight them about it.
I would
I
love
love
that.
that. I love that.
He's like, "Oh, I'm so professional. I know what I'm doing.
No, you're not.
I I do this the correct way." And they're just like, "Buddy, you just did this job."
Touch some grass. You have
I think
no
that
idea
would
what
be
you're
like quite
doing.
funny, like someone who thinks he's completely in control and like I'm so serious, I'm so sharp, a little cocky maybe, but like he isn't. I
Love
thought it would
that.
be quite fun.
I
Love
love
that.
that. It almost kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have seen the Master of Disguise movie
Me,
Hmm?
of
back
course,
in like
not. No.
2001. Well, there's like the
I
evil guy in it. He is this super rich. He's scary, or supposed to be scary. And he always does this evil laugh, but at the end of the evil laugh, like he farts. So I don't know why I would want that. Like, oh yeah, I'm the greatest.
Love it.
There you go. Um, so we've talked about this new Papa. What would you want for the next era of ghouls and ghoulettes to look like?
I have thought about that a bit, and what I've always kind of like known, what I personally would like, is since like the new, like the Impera era look kind of like really different compared to the others. Um, I personally would like them going back to more of a kind of demonic look, but not the same as like they look. Like I wouldn't want it to be like back to the same old, because
Right.
Meliora and Prequel did look quite similar. Um, I was maybe hoping kind of like more of a mythical look. Um, maybe like with also not all the same colors, like maybe different metallic colors in their masks, and also like what I would absolutely love, maybe rune carvings or something of that sort. Because that would also be like a great opportunity to kind of like incorporate the elements, or kind of like also hide some secret lore or something like that, or messages. So I kind of like really love that idea to go into that direction.
Isn't it like I'm not too deep, like not too deep. I'm not deep in the sleep token lore, but isn't it like that with sleep token that they have like secret
Yeah, their new
symbols?
masks have stuff
Hmm.
in
Okay.
them, I think.
I do listen to Sleep Token, but I'm not that deep into their lore,
Yeah,
to
same. I
be
just saw that
honest.
on Twitter the other day. I remember that.
So I didn't know about that yet. Like I just kind of like thought of that.
um, do you think that they will exchange anybody from the ghouls or from the ghoulettes?
Good question. I'm not sure. Because like last person being exchanged was Aether to Phantom, as far as I know.
And
Um,
what was her name? Was it Sunshine
Sunshine to
to
Aurora.
Aurora? Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes. Uh, Honestly, I'm really not sure about that because it mostly came like really unexpectedly.
yeah. I agree.
So it could be possible, but I I really don't know for that one.
Hmm.
Um, do you think they would add any more ghouls? And if so, what instruments would you like them to play?
I don't think they will add like any way more rules like to temporarily like to be on stage
Mm-hmm.
during the whole concert, because I do think it could get quite full maybe,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
also like space wise. What I could imagine maybe them adding some that do like temporary things, or like come in, like you remember Cowalgo, for example.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes.
Something like that would be cool, for example. That could be a possibility. um but I'm not sure what specific instruments that could be, because that would be a good question. But in general, I could maybe see that. But I do think that like the main kind of like repertoire of instruments is probably gonna stay quite similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
We need bagpipes, maybe an accordion.
Violins.
Yeah, something like really out of place suddenly.
Fucking accordion. Or a,
I love
what is
accordion.
it? Is it a harmonica or something like that?
Oh
Oh my
gosh.
That would
god.
be nice. Or just somebody coming in playing the kazoo. That would be nice.
Oh my god. This is cool. He'd be my new favorite ghoul.
Very cool.
Kazoo
We
Oh
goya.
no,
need
no, no! I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say that. Don't let my Omega hear that.
um,
um
speaking of
They're sharing the place.
speaking of you saying, it could get quite full, meaning the stage, of course. Do you
Yeah.
think that, or is there something specifically you would like to see for the new stage? Background or layout or stage, what's it called? Like the
Mm,
platforms or whatever?
yeah.
I've been thinking about that, and yes, while you were also mentioning like where with it getting full, I don't think that like a lot of grand things on stage, like scenery wise, would probably be changed, because kind of like I feel like they need the space to do also their little shenanigans, and
True.
like him running around the stage. um So I do think too much of scenery or stuff being on there could take away from that.
Yeah.
What I could maybe think of, maybe that they would do something more specific in the opening and then like put it away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so they could do something more grand in the opening. I haven't thought about like the specifics of that, but that would make that like be the possibility of doing something more theatrical and wow,
True. Yeah.
and still not take away from them running around doing their shenanigans in between.
I actually saw something
I
about that on Twitter. I think it was just yesterday.
Oh,
Somebody, I'm not sure what concert it was. It was a like a huge arena. I thought I took a screenshot. I think I didn't. It was like a huge installation. It was a like a figure, and it was
mm.
like as tall as the actual arena. And somebody was like, what if they did that but with the phantomime papa, with the
Oh my god.
mechanic one? It was
cool.
so cool. And they were also moving it like it was like this in the beginning, and then it got closer to the audience. That was really really cool
Ooh.
actually.
That reminds me, Shakira, my number one favorite person ever. Um,
Yeah.
Back in 2001, she did her tour, and she had an actual cobra, like a mechanical cobra that was like
Oh
20
my
feet tall
god.
or something in the
Oh my
back,
god.
and it would actually move towards the audience.
Oh wow.
And
Whoa.
I wish I could have gone. I was like 4, but you know, what if they had something like that, like or like the Opus, the
Yeah.
ghost, like
Oh my
oh,
god.
that'd be
Oh
so
my god,
cool.
yes. Oh, or they
Oh,
or they could
Like in the background being like, ah.
yes,
or what if for the new era
Papa
the
Nil.
let's just say
Sorry.
the ministry actually is coming to an end, and they somehow have this installation of a ministry, and the closer it gets to the end of the ritual, it's just the ministry somehow falling down, and pieces are falling kind of
Ooh.
falling into the audience, that hanging from the ceiling.
Ooh.
That would be cool, I
You mean
think.
like kind of like a 3D type of
Yes.
Yeah.
Once
Ooh.
again, we're back to the 3D Shrek rave that we talked about in like episode 2.
What?
Could you imagine? Have you ever seen that? Are you on that side of
No.
TikTok?
I haven't seen
Okay,
We will send you
now
the
you're going to
TikTok
be.
link.
Yes, please.
And there's a rave, and it's
Let me pull it up.
3D art, and it goes along to a specific song, and it's
So
Shrek.
stupid.
And he like throws up green slime. He like eats another Shrek, and he reaches out to the audience. Like,
So
can you
basically,
imagine?
I'm not sure how loud this is going to be, but it's this. Wait, oh, it's very bright. Wait.
Like
Oh
goes.
my god.
I mean, that's actually kind of cool. Imagine that would be the worst trip of your entire life if you're there, just like high as a kite. That would
Yeah.
actually be funny.
And Papa Nil like pops out with
Oh,
a saxophone and
oh no, they killed Terzo again and cut off his head and just like his blood into the audience.
oh my
No.
god.
Yes.
Please don't.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So
I would be personally hurt.
not just you, I believe.
Oh wait, what's that expression? I came here to have a good time, and now I feel personally attacked or
Yeah.
something.
No, I'd be like, oh, no, my poor boy.
That is me going on Twitter every day, Joanne. Came to have a good time. Got attacked in
This
the
is
end.
how I feel.
Yeah, I deleted my Twitter.
Oh my god. Okay, a little change of topics. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday with the new merch? I think it was for the movie
Yes.
with the
Yes.
new shirts and the
Oh,
poster.
I didn't
Poster.
get a chance to take a deeper look at that yet.
It was just the movie
Go
poster
look at it.
and the logo, and there was a new one yesterday with a crucifix gravestone and Nihil kind of coming out of it with his hand and the
Ooh,
saxophone. That was actually really cool. I
It's
love that.
really cool.
Yeah, that
ooh.
is. Are you into the merch in general?
Um, in general, the whole of Ghost merch,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
yes, I especially love those kind of like art t-shirts.
yeah,
Like I do love those art prints. Because a lot of bands don't actually have that kind of stuff.
true.
And I really, really love the art style. And that's not like that typical, oh, logo,
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. Also, the variety of it, because basically you can browse and browse and browse and still find new shirts.
yeah,
Yeah.
So if you're not like completely opposed to the art style, I feel like everyone kind of like can find something
yeah.
there.
I agree. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah. I
mm.
love
So
collecting the
I do
shirts.
really like the merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that they have not, released yet, but something that you would like to see from Ghost?
For merch, you mean?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
just like it doesn't have to be apparel. It can be anything, accessories, houseware, whatever.
hmm, good question actually. Um, so what I personally have to say, but that's just me. It's nothing like that they have not released yet. But what I kind of like when looking for merch, I as a Terzo cosplayer and Terzo fan, I'm obviously mostly looking for that merch. But when I look online, right as for right now, I am hunting basically because I don't find a lot of, or in general, like for the Olo Papas, it's hard to find new stuff,
Yeah,
honestly. Um, so obviously, it makes sense that there's like a lot more Cobia stuff right now. Like
true.
I'm not, it's like it's logical in my opinion. But like what I think would be cool, like maybe one kind of like flashback series, or like maybe one shirt for each of them, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or wait, aren't they doing something like that? I'm not sure.
They did that with the album covers, and a
Yes.
couple times the past few years they've
Because
done
I
like
remember because I remember
yeah.
that there was that one Primo shirt with the apples, I think.
Yes.
And then just recently they had the Secondo shirt with like the goats.
yeah. And the
Yeah, I forgot about that
tablets.
one.
Yeah. I
Yes.
remember.
Yes, I did see that.
I'm still waiting
Did
So
they
for
have
the.
Terzo one?
No, that was
no, I didn't
Secondo.
have him yet, but like I'm looking.
I'm still waiting for for somebody to drop the Taylor Swift Eras thing with just the papas. I would like that. With the I really want to see some Eras kind of stuff.
If they would drop that
Uh-huh.
that and that kind of like reference, I know one person who would run
You
to get that.
I know too. I know Ash, and
Yes.
I know myself, and I would eat that shit up.
Okay, so now I know two persons who would run to get that.
Jill would also run, but she would probably run away, I
Yeah.
guess.
I would.
Well, in my family, that was put in two people. I'm the ghost person. My sister's the Taylor Swift person.
I'm both.
You're the only child, Sabrina, so you had to be both.
Oh my god.
There was no room.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, love that.
Okay. I know we talked about the theories a little. Um, and you're not too big into the theories, which is fine. We've had other guests on here that are like, we're
Yeah.
purely for the
Sure.
music.
Mm.
Um, are there any of them that you think are just so silly or you can't imagine happening whatsoever, but they're fun, or, the most plausible one?
So I did hear some names. The ones I'm kind of like names of theories, like titles. That's in,
Mhm.
as in that. Um, but let me just count in my head which one I actually know more.
So we've had the Caligula one.
Yes, I actually read a little bit about that because I didn't hear that theory name before, to be honest, and I'm not that deep into that one. I do know the Antichrist theory, of course, because that's like one of the most popular ones. And as I've said before, I definitely see the clues of that one. So I do think that that one is definitely a plausible or possible one. One that I also have seen a lot, obviously, is
Resurrected Papa, I guess.
yes, exactly. For that one, it's actually quite interesting because my stance to that is, while I, depending on who it would be, would love to get the chance to see one of the like older papas live, like I would run a chance. And like the most popular one for those theories is mostly Terzo, from what I've heard. Like most people think it's him. And while I would obviously be excited as hell for that, at the same time, a part of me is like, huh.
It's also like never meet your heroes.
Are those clues really? I'm like, are those clues really clues, or are people maybe wanting it so much that they see those things as possible clues?
Yeah.
So that's like, especially for this theory, that's like something I'm asking myself. So I'm kind of like having mixed thoughts about that. Sure. Because I've seen some, like I've heard about some of the clues, and like I don't think that they're senseless or anything. Like I do see some points, but at the same time I'm like, well, maybe the people also just like want it too much.
Sure. Yeah. But it's also Ghost. It's also Ghost playing with that. I mean,
yes,
some of them are just so obvious. And also, I'm a little bit afraid because what if Terzo were to come back, but we just didn't like him anymore? Because what if?
Yes, that was what I thought.
What if? What if?
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, because I mean, as I said, never meet, like, don't meet your heroes. What if Tobias isn't like, wouldn't be able to play him the way that he used to, you know?
That, or they would deliberately change his character because of something, can be anything. Sure. And then it's not like the same old Charizard that we all like know and love. And it's like, what? Why?
Could you imagine like a pet cemetery kind of thing? Like they buried Terzo's body out back, and then he rises up and he's evil Terzo now.
Oh.
Have you seen that movie? You have not seen that movie,
I
Sabrina.
have not.
No, but there was I think there was a rendition of that movie a couple of years ago, not too long ago, and I think I saw that one.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, if let's say that would happen, like in general, that Terzo gets actually resurrected. I have actually done a resurrected Terzo cosplay last fall. I kind of like did it as a Halloween thing. I used my actually my Phantom of the Opera vest. It's like a red and black vest, and I kind of like did like with collodium. I kind of like put scar stuff on there, and then I glued thread on, so it has that 3D effect. And so when I made videos for that, I obviously kind of like had to think of, okay, how would he kind of like be like? So I always kind of thought that when he would get back, he'd obviously be out for revenge on the people who wronged him.
Yeah.
I don't know what his like internal goal when that is done would be. I haven't thought in depth about that, but I do think that he'd definitely be out for revenge first.
I agree.
I remember there's actually a song by, I don't know if you know the band Iceland Kills.
Yes. Never
Do you
heard
know A Grave Mistake?
I've probably heard it. I'm not good with song titles with that band.
So basically let me pull the lyrics for a second. Because I have been, that's usually how I get my videos ideas. I randomly listen to some songs and I'm like, wait, that fits that character.
Yes.
Oh, that is me with
Yeah.
uh what was a song that had Mary Gore as a feature?
Oh, is it Me and That Man?
Yeah, exactly. That is so Dracopia coded. That whole song. So yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
Interesting.
really sounds
that's
like that.
interesting. Okay, so basically, from the second verse into the chorus, that's what I used. I was listening to that and I was like, oh, that's so Resurrected Terzo. It goes, these vengeful thoughts trapped underneath rage, scorn, misery, payback for what you took from me, hope, love, sanity. And then it's like, I heard that you reap what you sow. So here's to believing in ghosts. Now, when you see my face, you know. And then the chorus starts, you can save yourself or save your soul when you meet the man whose life you stole. Um, and then
Oh,
with wings and broken bones, I'll fly for the fallen, flies the crow.
I love that.
that could have been a ghost song
I
as well.
love that.
That was so cool.
That
Oh.
fits into the whole thing where some people think Copia is the one who killed the Papas. So Terzo could have not actually been killed all the way and then comes back, seeks revenge in some way, and, you know, gets
Yeah,
Copia.
so I listened to a song and I was like, I need to do this. So that's kind of like my introduction video for Resurrected Terzo. I can actually, if you want to, I can send it to you later.
Yeah, please.
If you end up using this as footage for,
Oh, absolutely. I would love this to be our teaser clip.
What
I can definitely send it to you.
what if what if what if Sister wanted to have Copia again, like you said, some people believing that Copia actually killed the other
Yeah.
ones. What if Sister told him to do that and Copia was like, "Yes, of course I will do that." But he exchanged the syringe for Terzo because he was like really close with him and never
I
actually
do.
did kill him and Terzo just played dead. And then he's coming back and like and what if Kobe is like, "Oh, thank goodness you're back. Let's take over the ministry together." And Terza's like, "You would have thought that I would be like actually turning against Kobe even though he had saved
Oh,
him. That would be kind of fun.
that would
I
be
love that
interesting.
idea.
Never thought of that.
I do actually headcanon them like in their past being like more close, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
I'm sorry, what?